My name is Amanda and welcome to the Headshed Retreat.co.uk. So the reason I'm making this video really is to let you know a little bit about yoga and just to inform you a little bit. So why would you do yoga? So I do find that a lot of people are interested. They have a lot of interest with yoga and then maybe feel a little bit scared of it. And it's like anything, if we don't know much about something, then we tend not to do it. So what I hear is a lot of people aspiring to wanting to do yoga. Oh, I wish I could do that. But then they never do it. And part of the reason why they say, I wish I could do it, is they say, I'm not flexible enough, which I find incredible because that is why we do yoga, or at least one of the reasons why we do yoga. So my name's Amanda. I've been teaching for several years now. Absolutely love it. It has become a much deeper practice to me. I do live through the philosophy of yoga, and that may be too much for you. So I'll say it right from the beginning. If the philosophy of yoga, I don't bring a lot of it into the class, but I certainly bring a bit, maybe a fair bit, I don't know. It's all normal to me now. But if it's not for you, if philosophy is not for you, then just ditch it. Don't use it, or use it as a physical practice, but try and ignore the bits that are that side. I personally love it. It's a way of living and a way of being. Through this, I have gone back. As a child, I was vegetarian on and off. I wanted to be, aspired to be, but I am fully plant-based now and thoroughly enjoy it. I aim to live through the first two limbs of yoga, and I feel better for it. So I called my business the Headshed Retreat, and the reason for this is I'm a hairdresser and I was a life coach, and so the head bit, yoga helps your head, life coaching helps your head, and you've got hair on your head. So the head shed bit is from a young age I've had a fetish for sheds. Still have, probably always will have. I like small spaces. I aspire to live in a tiny house one day. That's just how it is. So the Headshed Retreat. The retreat bit is your mat. So I think because I have always travelled a bit and I like to take my mat, to me it just felt like, do you know what? I've brought my own little bit. I can roll it out wherever I want, even in the middle of an airport, in the middle of the night, and I can make shapes. And it's my retreat. It's my place that I can go. I can be happy, I can be sad, I can cry, I can be physical, I can stretch, I can sleep, I can do what I want on my mat. And those of you that know me as a teacher, I always say, don't let anybody stand on your mat, and don't lend anyone your mat either. It's your mat and not anyone else's. And isn't that nice to think that we have just one possession? We shouldn't really need possessions, or hello to the new age world, but this is my mat. You're not allowed on my mat. You're not allowed to practice on it, and you're not even allowed to stand on it. It belongs to me. So the Headshed Retreat, obviously, .co.uk, even though I live in Australia. So I thought I'd ask some questions. So why do yoga? I personally think the biggest benefit of yoga is that you get out of your head and into your body. Now, movement's always been very important to me, and so as a hairdresser, I've always moved. I taught aerobics in the 90s, and movement is really good for me. Put me in an office all day on a computer and I will wither. But for the majority of the population, you are sitting in front of a computer, you are in meetings, you are on Skype meetings, you are on all sorts of meetings, you're on the phone. It's a lot of head work. So I think first and foremost, it gets you out of your head and into your body, which is a really, really nice transition and a really nice feeling. Physically, it will help you get stronger. I am of the age 57, so I'm not sure whether I'm in the menopause or gone through the menopause. I really don't know. However, you know, it's really important at this age that we keep strong, and a good way of keeping strong is to hold your own body weight. So a little bit about like the martial arts. If you choose a yang form of yoga, there's lots of different forms, but if you choose a yang form of yoga, then you will be holding your own body weight. It will help your bones to remain strong. Got to be a good thing. So we got out of our heads. We're aiming to remain or create strength. So balance. Balance is so important as we get older. It's been practiced a lot in retirement homes to help people create better balance. The more we can balance, the less we are likely to fall over. So the future is learning to balance and to balance well. What else have we got? Flexibility, obviously. So flexibility, really important. A yin practice, so there's yang and there's yin. A yin practice will mostly improve your flexibility. Flexibility will give us a better range of movement. A yin practice also helps to elongate and stretch the fascia, or what's called the connective tissue, which is all the way around our body. And it's yogic belief that we hold stress in that connective body. So it relieves stress as well. So how cool is that? Flexibility, if you take part in another sport, so for instance, say you play golf and you have a golf swing, as you would, if you improve your flexibility in your shoulder, then you will have more power hitting that ball on the golf course. So it doesn't matter what sport it is, if you can increase your range, you can increase your power output, should that sport need a power output. So moving on. Why me? Why would you want to practice yoga with me? Well, why not? Because I'm great fun and love being on my mat and like sharing what I do on my mat. So firstly, if you know me and you've decided you like me, then it's a good reason to practice with me. If you don't like me, then don't practice with me because that wouldn't work. Okay, so it may be because you've had contact with me in the past, you've been to one of my classes in a hall somewhere and you enjoyed it and you want to carry that on. And also, you may be in the menopause or going through the menopause or getting older and looking at yourself in the mirror and going, what is happening? Yeah, it's happening to me too, and maybe we can just do this together. You know, we're just getting older and it's a privilege. So I've talked about body weight. Yeah, we've got to carry on doing this body weight thing, and I'm into that, so there's another good reason. Yes, and past classes. So why wouldn't you practice yoga? So firstly, you wouldn't practice yoga with me if you don't like me or I get on your nerves. You wouldn't do that. But also you wouldn't practice yoga, firstly, if you have a recent injury. You certainly wouldn't do yang yoga if you have a recent injury, and you would just need to be patient until you got to a place where you could. But secondly, and most importantly, you wouldn't practice yoga if you don't really like the yoga way. And yeah, because I think some of the terminology would probably just get on your nerves. If you are purely physical and and this even gets on your nerves, then go to Pilates instead. So Pilates was created to help dancers get back to work after an injury. So it's a very modern, if you like, kind of yoga without the philosophy. Over the period of time, 5,000 years, that yoga has been around, we can choose to be very traditional in our practice, or we can take some elements of Pilates and bring them in. Now, I call myself a yoga teacher and I teach functional yoga. So what's functional yoga? So functional yoga is me adapting and helping to teach different ways of your postures. So I'm not going to be tied up about the perfect pose. I'm not interested in showing off on Instagram on that perfect pose. I'm interested in how we feel in that moment and how we can get out of our head and into our body, and how we can feel better at the end of a class, and how we can improve making synovial fluid in our body. So this is this water content around our joints, so that as we get older, we can move and be mobile. That's what I'm into. I'm into the physicality, the flexibility, the making this fluid around the body. I am into the 8 limbs of yoga. I am into the ways of being, the first being kind, ahimsa, the biggest rule in yoga, the being kind to others, and most importantly, being kind to ourselves. So, what I offer is buy 1 month and get the second month free. The reason I do that, I'm not making a load of money on this. What it does is it keeps my emails up to date, it keeps my website live, it allows me to buy the odd item of clothing or a mat or a block or something. Yeah, it just helps me just carry on. So it's buy 1 month, get the second month free. It's £27 for the 2 months. So if you would like that, then I'll put the website address on the bottom of this post, and hopefully I will see you soon. It's all very explanatory, very easy. If you'd like to sign up, you literally go to my website, you go to the members area, you put in this fancy password that I will make up later today, and then you are in, and from there you have, I think there's probably 75 classes on there that you can choose from. You'll also get put on a temporary email address, and then I just keep in touch with you, and you can send me photos, as people do. People don't seem to like putting things on Facebook so much now. So what people do is they send me photographs of their practice, of their mat rolled out, and it's really nice. So we have that conversation as well. So you can't do that with a stranger on YouTube. Anyway, that's me. My name's Vanda, and if you'd like to give yoga a go, then this is what you need to do. Toodaloo. Bye.